we want to see Ukraine win, push back on the Russians, push back on the Iranians and the North Koreans that are actually supplying all these weapons. But we also want to see our own border secure.
Yeah.
To say that we're obsessed with other people's security and we're ignoring our own seems to be the whole focus of the Biden administration. We have people from known terrorist areas that are coming into our country, and this administration is not taking it seriously.
Strong words there by Oklahoma Senator James Lankford as the House couldn't pass more funding for better security at our southern border. This as Joe Biden and the Democrats are focusing first on aid for Israel and Ukraine. Instead, well, let's discuss with former Deputy National Security Advisor in the Trump administration, Victoria Coates. Thank you so much, Victoria, for joining us. Oh,
hello, Lydia.
Okay, and we're also bringing in Gerard Filitti. Thank you so much. All right, let's start off with you, Victoria. New deal on border security is now likely not going to happen until early 2024. We're seeing single-day encounters of more than 10,000 illegals continue this week. Victoria, this is certainly horrible times for Border Patrol and law enforcement and for the nation at large. I mean, and the fact that Joe Biden and the Democrats don't seem to get that, and then meanwhile, Trump, he was talking about securing the border, and they're saying he's like Hitler and Mussolini.
No, it's outrageous. And I think as you look at some of the recent polling that's coming in about the border issue, you're seeing it climb in terms of the priority for Americans, 7-10 points in recent weeks, because they're seeing how just chaotic and out of control the situation is. It's compounded by the situation in Israel. We know that there are terrorists, people who are on terrorist watch lists, who are among the undetecteds who are coming across the southern border. So this is just a very strong concern for all Americans this Christmas season. And I think you do see some signs of the White House realizing this is political poison for them. But at this point, I don't know what they could do that would be acceptable to their really radical base to get the problem under control.
And let's pull up that poll again, that screen that we just showed there about Americans. So the source's blueprint right there, 44% of Americans think that Donald Trump is closer when it comes to the personal views on the border and immigration and asylum, and Joe Biden, 25%. Gerard, is this the straw that breaks the camel's back when it comes to the Democrats? Because here in New York City, it doesn't get more blue than New York City. And you've got a lot of people out on the street saying, I don't want illegals living like, hundreds of them living next door to me because we don't know who they are.
We can't, not only that, we can't afford them. We can't afford to take care of them. Mayor Adams recognized this. A very Democrat progressive mayor went south of the border begging people not to come because even the Democrats in New York realize it's a big problem. We can't accommodate them. It's not safe for us. It's not safe for anyone. So this is a big polling issue. It's a political issue here in New York and blue states as well as in Republican states.
And now his approval ratings are underwater, the lowest since recorded, like 28%. But then he talks out of both sides of his mouth because on the one hand, he said, come on, we want all the migrants, everybody to come here. And then on the other, he's complaining it's going to cost billions of dollars. Victoria, that's what's ridiculous about these Democrat leaders. They're not asking for the border to be closed. They're not asking to remove their asylum city, whatever, sanctuary city status, right? Instead, they just want more money from the federal government, not from the federal, me and you, right? Our taxpayer dollars to take care of them.
No, absolutely. And the problem is this entire policy is divorced from reality. The article of faith for the far left is that all immigration is good immigration, that the United States owes it to the world to open up our borders. We are working on a paper at Heritage right now on how climate change is now being introduced as a cause to claim asylum because you're fleeing the bad climate in your country, which of course is also America's fault in this telling. And what they're finding and what they thought would mean for them is a lot of new Democrat voters. But what they're finding is that the Hispanics that are here legally in this country that have gone through the process, that have become a wonderful source of labor, of entrepreneurship in the United States, they don't like this. They don't want it. It actually winds up not being a partisan issue, as you just said. Nobody thinks this is a good idea except for the top leadership in Washington.